Hello everyone, I am here to show off my DWM setup. This is just in a VM, so I haven't fully ascended yet, but I've gotten a pretty good configuration so far. So let me just boot up my virtual machine. Right, let's full screen it. Just give it a second. Log in. Start X. Oh, here we are. Okay, so this is DWM, which is a window manager. It's a lot different from a desktop environment. It's usually controlled with just your keyboard, which I think is really cool. So most of it is keyboard shortcuts. Now, what's different about DWM from other window managers like i3 and stuff is to configure DWM, you have to edit the source code directly. But that also makes it super lightweight and super customizable because you can quite literally make it do anything you want. So I have a pretty simple configuration, right? I'm going to show you some of the cool things you can do with it. So you can open up a terminal, of course. It's a little slow because I'm on a VM. But if I neofetch, you can see I'm in a VM. I can SSH into the host. You can see this is the host, right? So up here, you can see we have a status bar. We have these, which will switch. They're called tags. They're pretty much workspaces. I'll talk about those later. So you can have one window open, right? But what makes Window Manager special is once you start using multiple windows, right? Say you open another one, right? You can switch focus between them. You can resize them, right? But you can add more. It just keeps going, right? DWM operates in primary and secondary windows, right? Your primary will always be the biggest. Secondaries, anytime you open a new thing, actually, it'll be primary, and then it'll take the other ones and make it secondary, right? So say I run neofetch in this one, bash top in this one, right? Say I want to make neofetch primary. I can do that. I want that one primary. See how this works? And so if you make a new one, it takes the last one, puts it into a secondary. Then you could, of course, resize it all. So that's basically how that works. You can download patches and make it so they open in a different layout, but it's all the same idea. There's the primary and secondary windows, right? Now, let's talk about these up here, which are called tags. They're similar to workspaces, but they're a little bit different, and we'll see why. So say I open up dmenu and I open Firefox, right? We have a window here. We have a terminal there. I don't know. Run glances. Why not? So we're over here, right? Say we want to move this to a different workspace. Like we want this to be full screen, but we don't want to close out of that window, right? So what we can do is we can move it to the second tag. So once we switch to it, we can see it like that, right? So these are separate. You can switch between them. You can also click on them. So yeah, and then say if I open another terminal here, fetch this one. You can see they're different. But here's where the tags are different from workspaces. On workspaces, you would be limited to whatever's in each workspace, right? Well, because these are tags and not workspaces, you can just view all tags at the same time by pressing 0. Sorry, by not pressing 0. There we go. So you can see we have all the windows here. 1, 2, all. And you can customize it so that these aren't labeled with numbers. You can make it so they're icons or text, whatever. You can set your own shortcuts for everything. So that's that. The status bar up here, let's talk about that, right? So mine's pretty simple. You'll see a lot of people have probably more. I just have date, time, RAM, CPU. This is a VM, so I don't really need any network or volume or stuff like that. But say I did, right? Let me just go to where I have it downloaded. Because it is a suckless program, you configure it by editing the source code directly. So if you open config.h, nope. There we go, config.def.h, my bad. If you open that up in a text editor, you can see here, there's a bunch of comments, right? These basically explain all the different functions of the status bar that I'm using, which is called SL status. However, down here, I just have 3 commands, right? CPU percentage, RAM percentage, date time. You can also have it run any bash command, so you can have it output any text you want up there and run anything like that. And this is constantly updating, right? So once you save that, hello? Alright, well I think Vim just had a stroke. Anyways, so once you have that set up, right? I'm using xinit. So if we open our xinit file, we can see here I have a couple things starting, right? I have this, which sets my resolution. I have my compositor opening up. That lets me have transparency and blur and stuff. Here is the status bar. This is a different thing that I was testing. Real quick. You can set any text to the status bar, right? So I can do set root dash name, and you can literally type whatever you want in here, right? And you can see up there it changes. Mine will update because I have it set to auto update, right? But here I just have it running the command SL status, which runs that source code I just showed you. Over here, this is a loop I have running that makes it so anytime DWM closes, it automatically opens itself back up again. And here it is executing DWM. So if I quit DWM, you can see it refreshes because it closes, right? So yeah, that's pretty much my DWM configuration. It's pretty cool, in my opinion. I'm not sure how it works with multi-monitors yet, but it's been really fun playing with it in a VM.